talk about diversity, equity, inclusion, accountability is really important. And you have created a framework, accountability, clarity, transparency. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Full transparency, Ava, this is like a super exciting thing. So if I talk really fast right now, even faster than I'm doing this, it's because this is super exciting. So you asked me earlier, why did I come to Allstate? It was because Allstate was already doing amazing things in the IDE, inclusive diversity and equity space. There is a pro and a con to that. The pro is that we're doing amazing things. The con of that is that we're doing a lot of amazing things. To make a really big splash, you can't do a lot. You can't. You have to figure out, what do you want to be really good at? And how are you taking everybody's energy and optimizing on it? Okay. So Allstate is a big company. We're a Fortune 100. We have a lot of really strong thinkers, which essentially turns into kind of this entrepreneurial spirit of doing really good stuff. My first job was to figure out, what are we doing? Like, so inventory, what are we doing? What's Allstate doing, and who's doing it? And where is it around the company? The second thing I had to do is figure out, is it really good stuff, or is it just activities, right? So I had to be very careful about making sure that we weren't telling people don't do that. We were being organized and optimizing on all of the amazing things that were already going on. So we created what's called the ACT framework, as you mentioned, of accountability, clarity, transparency. Okay. Historically, diversity teams are almost always the smallest in a company. People often say to me, my gosh, Eloiza, don't you want more people to work for you? I don't know, not necessarily. Why? Because if I have a massive team that's doing all the diversity work, then everybody will say, well, Eloiza's got all the people and they can do all the work. As opposed to having a lean, mean team, creating a framework like this, which essentially creates 1 to 2 points of contact in each department that are responsible for those 3 goals: representation, diverse spend, diverse investment. And they're all connected through this ecosystem. They're talking to each other, they're sharing best practices, they're reporting out on the corporate scorecard, and they're also doing their own things for their for what we call AORs, areas of responsibility departments, is what we call them. So that, what that framework does, it creates stamina in the work. It creates longevity and legacy programs in the business. It creates accountability because the business is doing the work. It's not Eloiza is giving you something to do, or my team comes in and like clears house or whatever. You're doing this to yourself. The business decides for the business what they're going to do. We are directing traffic and we're supporting it as subject matter experts, but you're basically handing the reins over and saying, you know what? You're responsible for your journey. You are also responsible to contributing to the goals of IDE at Allstate. What are you going to do? But we're also going to give you a framework that you can talk to other people and get a lot of help and support. So that's what that framework does. Frankly, if a company doesn't have a similar framework like that, I would highly encourage you to create some sort of governance system. We don't call it, because it's not about, I'm not governing anybody. I'm just bringing everybody together so that we can optimize. Again, if we say we're going to be the best, we got to figure out how we're going to do that. Together is better.